afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our afternoon session. My name is Brandon Hall. I'm the Learning and Development Manager here at National Contracting Center. We're going to give everybody just a couple minutes to come in out of the digital lobby. It usually takes a few seconds to get everybody logged in. We have an exciting presentation for you today. We have Mr. Curt Zacharias with us today. He's one of our annuity partner, but he's also going to talk about today, as you can see on the screen, the benefits of reviewing life insurance. Before I hand that over to Curt, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. You guys will be on mute for the first part of the session. We will have a dedicated question and answer session at the end where I will take you guys off of mute. If you'd like to come on and talk with Curt, feel free to do that. Also, as he's doing his presentation, if you have questions, do drop those in the chat box. We'll monitor those, and then we'll pose those to Curt as we at our dedicated question and answer time at the end of the session. Also, we are currently in what we call our rollout season. We are hitting the road, coming to different areas around the Southeast with rollout tours where we have our broker manager partners come and set up shop and tell about plans for 2025 if they can as of yet. If you want to know more about that, visit our website, nccagent.com, and go to our events calendar. You'll see our rollout tours available there. You can sign up, and we look forward to seeing you on the road. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you being here. And Curt, I'm going to turn it over to you, sir.
Great. Thank you, Brandon. Hi, this is Curt Zacharias. Many of you know me as the Annuity Doctor. 35 years in the business. A lot of my clients actually call me the Annuity Doctor, but I'm a dedicated life and annuity agent, independent agent. And I also, besides having my own practice with clients all over the country, I work with Medicare agents and also fee-based financial planners, handling annuity questions and annuity cases for them. So some of you may have been on the webinar a couple of months ago when I covered the opportunities in the annuity market. I just want to backtrack just for a minute or two before we get into the life insurance side of this. At the time, Brandon had me on and we talked about the opportunity in the annuity market right now with interest rates being so much higher than they have been in the last 15 years. A lot of your clients may own old annuities that are paying, 1.5%, 2%, maybe 3% if they're lucky. And with interest rates being more in the 5 to 5.5% range, we can really help those folks out. I went over a real simple strategy where you really don't have to do any additional training or marketing, get appointed with companies. You don't even have to learn the annuity business. You just have to ask your clients a simple question. That is, do you own any old annuities? And then we take it from there. A couple of things have happened in the past 2 months. We've actually had our best 2 months in the business in the last 35 years. Part of that, again, is because of higher interest rates, but a couple of cases in particular came about. One of them came as a referral from a fee-based financial planner, and I was actually up at the National Contracting Center offices last week giving a presentation, and I was talking to some Medicare agents and really encouraging them, if they know any or they can seek out what are called fee-based financial planners as a source of referrals for Medicare business. Because first of all, fee-based planners, they just manage money. They don't do any products, but they know when their clients are about to turn age 65. They also may be involved in, after age 65, kind of their income planning and things like that. They have a relationship, and they would be an awesome source of referrals for you if you can become their annuity go-to person, or not annuity, but Medicare. And the one case that we actually had from a fee-based planner. It was a client who had an old variable annuity, and they wanted to start receiving income from it and stop taking money out of their managed account. And they were getting ready to annuitize the contract with the existing company, the goal being to create $12,000 a month income for life from it. They asked us if we could maybe improve the situation. And what we did was, of the money that they had, we were able to create that same income, but with $350,000 left over, that they actually ended up also rolling that into a deferred annuity. So those kind of cases are out there. If you don't know any fee-based planners, they're in on the internet, yellow pages, if those are still around. But I would recommend trying to develop a relationship with them. Now, the thing we're going to talk about today is life insurance reviews, and I'm going to go through why life insurance reviews can be really helpful to clients. But also, this fits in with the annuity question. By the way, do you have any old annuities? You're going to get a lot of people that say no. And as a follow-up question to that, I recommend that you ask them, well, do you have any old life insurance policies? And you'd probably be surprised. There are people who have, in their 60s and 70s, who have old whole life policies, old universal policies that they bought 35, 40 years ago. And the way I like to compare it is, if you could imagine, even looking back 10 or 15 years ago, if you had a laptop or a desktop computer or even a cell phone, just think about how out of date a 15-year-old laptop is. Very much the same in the insurance business. So much has changed in the last 15 years. And you can just imagine, if you find policies that were purchased 20, 30, 40 years ago, they are so out of date that you can improve people's situation in a number of ways. Now, Brandon has a handout for you, which he can distribute to you, but it's basically a summary of some of the things I'm going to go over regarding old life insurance policies. The first reason that they should be reviewed is interest rates have changed so much just in the last couple of years. We're coming out of a period where interest rates were near zero. If someone bought a policy just a few years ago, chances are that those are out of date already. If you look back at old policies, they may have been paying a high interest rate. And when I say paying a high interest rate, we're talking about whole life policies and universal life policies, not term. The term will come in a little bit here, but especially with people 65 and above, you're not going to find as much term insurance as you are going to find these old universal policies. But interest rates are a lot higher. The higher the interest rate is, the more the cash value grows, and the less of the interest needs to go towards paying the mortality expense of the policy. So that's the number one thing right now, interest rates. But over the last 10, 20 years, there's been a huge change in underwriting of life insurance policies. And when I say underwriting, I'm talking about the process that insurance companies go through to figure out if they want to insure you or not, number one, and then what kind of a rate that they would offer you. So because of all the medical advances over the last decade or two, insurance companies can do a much better job of not only diagnosing if there are problems, but also determining what the odds are, what the chances are of you living to a certain age. And therefore, if they can do that, they can be more competitive. In the old days, they'd run these tests, but they weren't that accurate. And now the tests are so much more accurate that they can be more aggressive in offering you higher benefits. The third thing that's changed is people are living longer. So as life expectancy goes up, then life insurance costs go down. The next and final thing that's really happened has to do with the structuring of life insurance distribution. In the old days, you used to go to see a Prudential agent or a State Farm agent, a Mutual of New York agent. Now, except for some of the captive companies, there are people like me, and most agents are like me, independent agents. So when I go out to bid, all the companies are competing for that business, and they know it. So they have to really sharpen their pencil, and it's forcing insurance companies to compete more aggressively for the client's business. So those are pretty much the four main reasons that life insurance should be reviewed. But let's see what some of the benefits are to the client. First of all, they could greatly reduce their monthly payment by refinancing the contract or basically getting a new contract to replace the old one. Also, a lot of these older, especially the universal policies, because interest rates going down, some of those policies are running out of money and they end up lapsing before the people die, which is a terrible thing. If you're putting money into a contract for 10, 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden you get to be, 75 years old, and the company says, hey, you need to send us a bunch more money if you want to keep this policy in force. So with the new types of universal policies, we can actually guarantee the benefit at a set premium, no increase in premium, for as long as they live. In some cases, people may want to, for the same dollar amount, get a higher death benefit because, when you took out $1 million policy 20 years ago, $1 million was a lot of money. Now, for your beneficiaries to live off of that money, it takes a lot more. So a lot of people are looking to increase their death benefit, which we can often do by keeping the premium at the same level as where it is now. And then, people just really are looking for that guaranteed and also peace of mind of knowing that, hey, this policy is not going to outlive, or I'm not going to outlive the policy. It's going to be here for when my wife, my children need it. So the process that we go through is if you find a client who has an old life insurance policy, we get them on the phone and we collect the information from them. We call the company and get what's called an in-force illustration that shows if the policy is going to lapse or not. And then we also do a questionnaire and get some quotes as far as what we might be able to do to improve their situation. And then the next step is if it works to the client's advantage, then we can get them underwritten and replace the old policy and, either save them money or get them more of a death benefit or avoid the potential lapsing of the policy. So you can call us directly. We also have a website that will show you some real life examples of what we've done for folks in the past with improving their annuity position or their life insurance. Our website is www.your annuity, ANNUITY, department, DEPT.com. And that'll also have our telephone numbers and email addresses on it. So, Brandon, if you have any questions, I'm available for the rest of the afternoon to answer anyone's questions regarding either annuities or life insurance.
Absolutely. And I dropped your website address in the chat, so anyone on the call can get that. Also, if you're watching this on a recording, we'll have that in the description below, but I also have it on the screen for the ones that are on the call right now. Here's our call, guys, for any questions that you have for Curt regarding, like he said, annuities or life insurance. I'll also throw a plug out. The September is Life Insurance Awareness Month, so this comes at a very timely position to take advantage of that, to talk about life insurance, get in front of your clients. If you have questions, bring Curt or his son Curt in. They'll be glad to work with you and help out. This is a mutual partnership. This is not a one-way street. We want to make sure that you guys are supported as Medicare agents, but also if you're selling life insurance, you're not just comfortable with it, you want some help. Well, that's what Curt's here for. So we don't have any in the chat just yet, Curt, but we'll wait just a minute, see if there's any questions that do come in.
Okay. One other thing I can throw out there also is we do have a commission sharing arrangement, so it's not like you're just handing people over to me. Since you are life and health licensed, we can share commissions, and we don't do that by you again having to get trained with a company, appointed with them, signing applications and all that. Once the case is closed and we get paid, we write a check to National Contracting Center, and they distribute your share of the commission out that way. I had last December, I had an agent call me up who had referred us a nice annuity case, and he said, my wife came to me last night. She was going through the deposits in our checking account, and she said, what's this extra $3,000 here? And that we normally don't get. He said, well, I referred an annuity case to Curt, and that was my share of it. And she said, well, you should be sending him business every month. So there is extra money to be made without you taking your eye off of your main business of building a book of residual income in the Medicare marketplace. But then, if you're experienced in life insurance and annuities and you just need some help, you can also reach out to me. I love brainstorming on designing cases and answering questions. There's a lot of business happening right now with people who are passing away, and the children are inheriting money, and we can help them avoid a big tax problem. And also, as a matter of fact, our biggest case this past month, it's actually the biggest case in my career, $1.9 million of annuity rollovers, just settling for 4 men in their 60s in Arizona. Their mom just passed away last month, and she and her husband were longtime clients of mine, and we're setting up these stretch annuities for the boys, rolling all the money over and getting paid to do that. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. If a client passes away, offer help in settling claims on annuities and life insurance. And then just in your normal, day-to-day business, just ask, that question, and you'll be surprised at how many people have these old life insurance contracts and also old annuities. So any questions there, Brandon?
No, we don't have any come in as of yet, but I was going to reemphasize what you said there about just asking the question, because I had a situation one time where I asked that question to a client of mine, and their parents had just passed. They had all of these contracts with life insurance companies that my client's parents had bought, but they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know, who do I call? What do I do? So I was able to sit down with them and help them go through that. And that's kind of what you're talking about here, is sitting down, helping that agent learn what they need to do, or actually, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but doing it for them, and then allowing that agent to commission share that new sale, if there are some, it's a joint beneficiary here, because the agent gets paid, you get paid, and the customer gets taken care of. It's a great situation. I'm excited for the partnership that we have here. And I've got your contact information on the screen. So if anyone's watching this on a recording, this is Curt and Curt Jr.'s contact information. Please reach out to them if you have any questions after this. I know sometimes when you go to a webinar, you sit through a webinar, it's a little overwhelming, all of the information coming at you. And then once you're done and you kind of think through what you heard, questions come up. If that's the case, feel free to reach out directly to Curt or Curt Jr. to be glad to help you. Send our questions to National Contracting Center, training@nccagent.com. We'll be glad to get those to Curt and facilitate back and forth if you don't want to go directly there. Either way,
Sure.
We just want to make sure that you're taken care of and your clients are taken care of.
I just have one other thing to say, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Curt Jr., he goes by Zach, and we live in a little farming community in the Sequatchie Valley, a little town called Dunlap, Tennessee. We have clients all over the country, and most of them I've never met before. Like I said, we get referrals, or the parents die, and the four brothers that we're working with right now on that big case, I never met any of them. And they actually, because of the way I took care of their parents over the decades, they knew to call me. And actually, they called me like the same day that mom passed. She had been sick for a long time, but they just knew that their dad would have wanted them to have me sort things out for them and get it done right. So, just because, we have people on this call, National Contracting Center, probably in states spread out all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to go, and we take care of everything over the phone, either Federal Express or priority mail. I do the forms, I do the paperwork, and the children or the client gets either a new contract, or the kids get a check in the mail, or they start receiving a stream of income from the annuities that their parents had. So, just if you're not in Tennessee, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we work with people all over the country.
That's fantastic. Well, I don't see any questions coming in, and I think we are going to wrap this session up. But guys, we do appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. To Zach and Curt, we appreciate you guys joining us as well. We look forward to setting up another one of these. Probably let's look at maybe a month and a half. We'll do some more tips and tricks here, because we want to make sure that these agents are getting their beneficiaries taken care of, and we'll drive some business your way.
Great. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, guys. Take care.